No, put that shit back. That's disgusting. This is Scorpio season. Scorpios don't need ASMR. They
Double
need
fisted.
Valium. They
Double
need
fisted
Valium.
it.
No, no.
Everybody
Uh,
take a nice breath in. We're meditating.
And this is half-ass witchery. Welcome to Scorpio season.
One, two, three, four.
Micah,
Welcome to
how are you
Scorpio
doing?
season. I'm doing great.
Scorpios is all about the titties.
All about the titties and ASMR because
No.
Scorpios like to whisper because they like to keep secrets. And so remember all the way back in Virgo season, I think it was, we said that we were going to do an ASMR episode.
No, we did
I'm
not.
holding to that. Vanessa doesn't want to hold to that.
No, we don't. No, we're not
I'm gonna
doing
get a
that.
better microphone so it really comes through. The ASMR really comes
We
through.
are. We're doing ASMR right now with my small talk.
No, 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 no. We need true ASMR. Like I like how on TikTok the ASMR really they'll be like doing like all the clicky words. They'll be like,
So as you can see, Micah doesn't have a mic for ASMR, and I love that. Absolutely fucking love that. No, absolutely not. Mm-mm. I am so happy. She cannot do shit with this ASMR shit, and I love it. I love it so much because I hate ASMR. It is creepy and it makes me nauseous. I'm gonna give Micah some more time to like get her ASMR rocks off.
these
And then
smell
we'll,
so good. If you
what is,
guys like sponge ASMR, hmm? Well, you were
this
about
is
to
how
ask
we
what they
open the
smell like
episode.
because I was about to tell you.
Yeah.
Were you about to ask what they were smell? Yeah, because I was about to tell you they smell like
Yeah, I was actually.
pine vanillin, and green Ajax.
So it's Scorpio season, and we talk a lot about, we were talking about,
Scorpio is about addiction.
oh, Scorpio is about addictions, which, let's talk about my current addiction. Fucking cell phone games. That's how you earn money, and they don't actually earn you any real money. This
Mm-hmm.
is likely due to stress, but I keep playing the games, and I'm like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
not making enough to make sense of this. Like, I should just cash all the shit out that I have and be done with it. And then I'm like, you know what? Just a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been my problem. What about you? Oh, wait, we didn't even say, how was your
Did we
Libra
do our
season?
intro?
We kind of try to do our intro, but you were
Oh.
too you were masturbating with sponges.
Welcome to Half-Ass Witchery. It's a full moon, which I do have video up on that on my channel. It came out this morning. Well, technically not this
Mm.
morning. When you're seeing this, it would have come
Hmm.
out already. So, well, I guess it doesn't even matter because this is Scorpio season. We're not recording this in Libra season.
No, we're not. We probably no, we actually aren't. We're so fucking close to Scorpio season at this point that we might as well
We
just say
are.
like
We
we're
are.
recording Scorpio season.
We
Oh
are
my,
behind.
Libra season has been lovely.
Yes. Okay, so yes. For those of you, this is Half-Ass Witchery in all seriousness. My name is Micah, and I have my co-host here, Vanessa. Welcome to Half-Ass Witchery, and welcome to Scorpio season. All right, so yes, how was your Libra season,
It was
Vanessa?
shit.
It was shit. Why?
Well, let's see. The kid. And then fall
Okay,
break with the kid. That's fun.
okay.
The kid is
You just not
having.
like, you want to
I lo
elaborate on that? Because right now it sounds like you just don't like being with your child.
oh no, I love my child, but again, we're going through some growing pains and we're having a very
Yes.
hard time because it's. I don't know. I gotta, like I said, I think it might be because she is a Gemini. She has some Gemini placements in her
Hmm.
moon and I think her rising sign. We'll have to look that up
Hmm.
real quick. But she is no, she's got to have a Leo somewhere where she just has to be fucking dramatic all the goddamn time.
I
All the
think didn't
goddamn
she?
time.
Doesn't she have a Leo rising? I thought.
I think she does have a Leo rising. That might be why she's such a fucking pain in my ass.
um, I love your earrings, by the way. You want
Oh,
to
thank you.
show the
Yeah.
people? Do they
So
have
I actually have
crystals
to
in
take
them?
I have these are my Moldavite earrings given to me by
Ooh.
um my mountain man.
Okay. I love them.
And when a man loves a witch, he buys them rocks.
I love that.
Like
And gives them jars.
and gives them jars because that's how you
Rocks
know
and jars.
rocks and jars. Or in his case, just tolerates that there's jars everywhere. And sometimes they're filled with weird things like
it
dead lizards.
it brings a whole new meaning to getting your rocks off.
You want to get your
um,
rocks off? Give me some rocks.
give me some rocks. Um, but I
But
love
there's
that in like Scorpio Libra season, you have on your Moldavite.
mhm.
And I I have not bought crystals in a long time, but I bought this necklace, which
That
is a
is
Veracruz amethyst. This is
you
the first
did get
crystal
it
I
because
bought.
we were talking
Yeah,
about that. Like we were talking about that in real life
yeah,
about you wanting to get that at Spirit of Pathos, Ohio people.
yeah.
Spirit of Pathos. Also, Ohio people, start booking me for face-to-face readings in June. I might be out there. Well, I'm going to be out there, but yeah, I'm going to be driving. I might drive my kid out to Cleveland to spend like 2 weeks with my parents
Okay,
and possibly
cool,
her father,
cool.
but that's really up to the kid.
Okay, okay, yeah, so Libra season. Yeah, so I got sidetracked. So I got this Veracruz amethyst, which is apparently like a very rare type of amethyst.
Hmm.
Um, and I love getting new crystals, like not really knowing a lot about them in particular. Like I know that amethyst is like a nice coverall. It's kind of like rosemary. Rosemary does basically everything. It's good for protection. It's good for love. It's good for speaking your mind. It's good for abundance. All the things.
Yeah,
Amethyst is
rosemary,
much the same
rosemary
way.
and basil.
Yes, rosemary and basil. I like the switch, like the what the Swiss knives.
I was gonna
um,
say they're the adobo of the witch world. We put that shit in everything.
Yeah, you put that shit on everything. And amethyst is like that for crystals. It does
Hmm.
basically everything. I think except cleanse other crystals. I want to say.
Yes, that is only quartz and
So it's selenite and
thank you. The quartz,
then like clear
selenite
quartz.
and quartz. Yeah,
Yeah, because technically amethyst is a type of quartz, but like clear quartz is good for, in particular, it's good for like
yeah.
clearing things out.
But let's
So
talk
clear
about
quartz would be the one.
this particular
So yeah, so this is a Veracruz amethyst. It's apparently very rare. It comes from Mexico, Veracruz, Mexico. And
I'm actually pulling
I
up the Google search I got on it right now.
yeah,
So
yes,
yeah.
yes. Um, this just reminded me of when I said Palo Santo and Max was like
Oh
or Witch
God.
Apple.
Oh
So I should
God. Oh
say
God. Sombra really just
Veracruz.
was about to whoop the shit out of you. She was about to hop through the phone just to whoop the shit out of you. I have never seen a human so fucking mad.
So it's Palo Santo and Veracruz.
Veracruz,
Um,
yes.
yes. And so let me make sure that I pronounce it correctly because I feel like such a poser every time I say it correctly. In the appropriate um, Latin accent. So it's Veracruz.
Hmm.
And it is, I'm going to ignore the screen for a second, but you guys can read it. So I'm just going to tell you my experience with it. So
Mhm.
as soon as I put it I noticed that I was just a lot calmer. Like I got this necklace because there was a lot of stuff going on. I was supposed to go out. Was supposed to go out for like a gig in this small town. I had a gig out there and there was a lot of controversy over me going and everything. I did go. It was fine. Obviously, I'm in one piece and alive. Yeah, so there was a lot of stress around that trip because family members actually decided to come with me just to make sure that I was safe and everything like that. Obviously, we're all in one piece and we're fine. But there was a lot of like stress around the the trip being made, and so I got this just as a little bit of extra protection for me, um, and automatically right away I felt calmer, like I felt sleepy, not like. And I realized that it wasn't like sleepy as in like I'm drained. It was more like sleepy as in like yeah, just very calm. Like I could be like Sleeping Beauty and just like not
No.
yeah, yeah, I don't have to what not Sleeping Beauty as in I don't have to worry about sitting against my will. But like it was like a feeling of like I would fall into a nice peaceful sleep. Not into a deep sleep, but a nice peaceful, even sleep. That'll give me exactly what I needed. Because you know, sometimes if you fall into too deep of a sleep when you wake up, you're still tired. This felt like I could just close my eyes and just drift into sleep, like almost like a very meditative kind of thing. And if you look at what Veracruz amethyst does, that is essentially part of what it does. Is it brings a lot of calming energy, of course, and then it also can enhance the dream state and connect to the divine as well.
I do
Um,
like this part. It is also known as Purple Rain
yes.
because Prince made it famous.
But
Prince's,
yeah,
we
I'm
found
like,
Prince's stone. If he wasn't a Jehovah Witness, he would be into this.
and, but yeah, I really love this film. I'm really big on, even though the owner of, or one of the owners of Spirit, wrote down the properties of Veracruz amethyst on the back of this necklace, like display paper for me. I didn't read it because I'm huge on. Ever since I've like started my crystal journey, I am huge on. Do not read what the crystal does. Just if you're called to it and you want it, take it and get to know the crystal yourself. Much like we do with plants.
Hmm.
Let the being talk for itself because crystals don't read books, neither do plants. And so I think it's
You
so
don't
much
know
more
that.
profound. I think it's so much more profound when you're able to experience what the crystal does from the crystal. Because every crystal and every plant is going to interact with you a bit differently, or interact with each person a bit differently. And so
Hmm.
it's nice to just kind of see how things go. You can learn about the crystal like on its own, and you might find that it doesn't do anything extra for you. But sometimes I'm like, it's just nice to get that one-on-one.
So the one thing I do like about I have a friend who is a crystal expert. It's um we with I have one of the girls that I work with. She does a lot with crystals. She used to do a lot with crystals, like a lot with crystals. So she likes to say that having like each crystal does something is going to have an individual reaction to the person's energies because each person is as individual as, you know, you can get. And so your energies are going to be different. And so the crystal is going to have a different reaction with people. It's kind of like my mom never treated me the same as my brothers. And she clearly didn't treat my brothers the same as each other.
But yeah,
Yeah, but
so yeah, so the Libra season was what we were talking about. So yeah,
yeah,
the
so
Libra
Libra
season
season.
was good. I did get back on the YouTube and I posted all the things. How was your eclipse, by the way? That solar eclipse in Libra. How was that for you? That was like on October 2nd, like beginning of the month
Oh,
of
I felt
October.
it. I felt it like 10 days later.
Oh, okay.
I felt it 10 days later because I got called out on some shit.
I recently had to do like to talk about that a little bit because I um one thing I am not someone I was raised in a very Christian household.
Hmm.
Um
Not
and
Christian like me. I was raised in like old Christian Catholic household. You were raised like Pentecostal, weren't you? Or Baptist?
no. Yeah, I started out in a Baptist church and then like, we went to like non-denominational churches after that. But I either way, it was very Christian and not no, because technically my stepdad was like the very Christian, like fanatic kind of person. My mom, she was never really like that. My mom tends to be a bit more respectful and she just kind of um does her best to like as I've become an adult, like just kind of like she inserts her opinions, her Christian opinions every once in a while.
Hmm.
And then we have conversations about that. But point is I grew up in a very Christian and like a lot of black people, a lot of people of color grow up in very Christian spiritual households, the majority. And so I had to just kind of think because in this time that I was supposed to be going to this gig in a small town in Pennsylvania, um, I had to, of course, talk to my mom about going there, and she had some concerns for my safety and things like that. I thought it was interesting. I thought it was so crazy because I'm like, in my mind, I don't identify as Christian. I just identify as spiritual. I have guides. I work with my ancestors and things like that, but it's not. I don't ever think of myself as belonging to any entity in particular. I think
Hmm.
of myself more belonging to myself and I work with people. But um I thought it was so interesting about how she was so filled with fear in the situation having to do with my safety. And I get as a mom, I get that concern. I've
Yeah.
had that
And
concern, of course, but I'm like,
yeah.
in my mind, I'm like, where is the Christian faith that Christians are, preaching about so often? It really was just really interesting to see the difference in our reactions to like my safety in this situation. Because I was very much like, I cannot control any wild cards, but you know who can? The universe ancestors, I will be well protected. I believe in that. I do not
I
have to have proof
sincerely
for it. I
believe
believe.
that your aunt would shoulder check a motherfucker.
I do. I do
Like,
too. I
like
do
just and
too.
the person will be like will fly across the room and you'd be like, oh, that's got to be my aunt. Like, there's no one touching, there's no one around him for like 20 feet, and then all of a sudden this dude is flying across the room and you're like, see ma, auntie still got me.
Yeah, because I'm like, I didn't like, because I dare not say that I don't understand like where my mom's coming from, because I can even hear my aunt saying, she's right, and I do know that she's right to be
Hmm.
concerned about these things, but also I'm like, I'm not about to walk around in fear or something. If I feel like, I was like, because my thing is, I'm like, if I thought that for a second that I would be hurt going out to this gig, the spirit would have like pulled me for a second and been like, do not accept that gig. I truly believe that. I was
Yeah.
like, but I didn't get anything like that when I accepted the gig. And so I was like, it's going to be fine. And obviously, fine. So, but I also take
No, you
precautions
got to do
whenever I
that.
go out to
I'm
gigs.
sorry. Hold on. We're
Yeah.
gonna go back. You're gonna do that again. You're gonna say, obviously, fine,
Fine.
because you are fine.
But yeah, I just, I think it just brought up some really interesting, um, points, I guess.
Dynamics.
Yeah. Yeah, like for lack of a better term.
Yeah,
because I've never seen like that portrayed so in my face like that, like the difference between somebody that should have faith. And it brought up essentially the difference between belief and faith. I read a book, and one of my favorite books talks about this, A Discovery of Witches, which thank you, Nikki, again, so much
yes,
for
yes.
introducing me to that series, because
That
in the second book,
okay. I haven't gotten to the
there
second book yet, but
okay, this is not like a spoiler or anything, but or I guess it's technically a kind of
if you
spoiler.
haven't read A Discovery of Witches, if you're watching the show, first of all, you're wasting your time. The book is so much better.
Yes. The
Like
TV show is its own
I watched
thing.
I watched like 10 minutes of the show and I'm like, if you're looking to like, I'm not feeling it.
But the books are always better than the actual show. But speaking
This
of
is
which, we're
true.
going to come back to books. We're going to come
Yeah.
back to books that we are obsessed with in book porn, because I think that's also very fitting for Scorpio season.
Yes.
But
Ooh, we
okay.
should add that to our Patreon. Be part of our book porn.
Yes. But in the All Souls series, which starts with the first book being titled The Discovery of Witches, the second book is titled Shadow of Night. Um, the one of the main characters, his father, is in the second book, and he is talking about one of the main characters, Matthew, and his father is talking to Diana, who is actually the main character of all three books, the first three books. And he's like, Matthew is he's a vampire. He is, very much attached to his faith, his Catholic faith. And Diana is talking to Matthew's father, and she's like, and Philippe is Matthew's father, and Philippe is like, Matthew doesn't have any faith. Like, he has belief. Belief is attached to the mind. Faith is attached to the heart. And I was like,
Ooh.
yeah,
Ooh.
I'm like, and I was like, I'm rereading that book currently, and I reread that line after this gig, and I was like, oh, that hits home. Now I truly understand it, because I'm like, yes, belief is all about the mind. The mind, if the mind can wrap around it, then it can believe it. Because for some reason, it's like it has been able to rationalize what it's seeing. And so therefore it believes it. But that's not the same thing as having faith in something.
Hmm.
Those are two completely different things. And I was like, wow, it was just interesting to see the difference live
Hmm.
in my own life. Getting off my soapbox now, but
That,
yes.
oh man, that was, but is that not like that is a really like let's bring this home for the Scorpios though.
Mm-hmm,
Because Scorpios are not about belief. They're about faith.
mm-hmm.
Because like and because if they believe you, that don't mean they like you.
This is true.
If
And I
they
think a lot of,
if they are faith, but if they have faith in you, like, and this is I have a cousin who is a oh my God.
mm-hmm,
She a Scorpio.
mm-hmm,
She a Scorpio. But she has like when she has a lot of faith in something,
mm-hmm.
she will fucking fight. She will knife fight you.
Yes.
She has a lot of faith in the Catholic Church.
Mm-hmm,
She doesn't have belief in the Catholic Church. She has faith in the Catholic Church because she has fucking
mm-hmm.
tried to fucking, well, she didn't try to fucking stab me, but she has metaphorically tried to go at me.
Yeah.
Like, because she also has a lot of faith in her family.
Yeah.
That is why I probably am still standing for some of, even after some of the shit I've pulled.
Yeah.
Like, she has a lot of faith in her family. And so they will defend it with their entire body.
Mm-hmm.
And like I think Scorpios out of all the signs are usually your most faith-filled and faithful signs that you will ever fucking find. You want somebody to be the pit bull in your life, you get yourself a fucking Scorpio and you get them to have faith in you.
And then you do not betray that faith, because
Oh no. Oh no, don't fucking do that shit. Don't do that
yeah.
shit. Like,
Because I think with Scorpios are very good, or that Scorpionic energy. It's about purity because Scorpio also purges what is not real or what is just bullshit, and it
mhm.
gets it down to its most refined like point, and that's what it will receive, and that's what it accepts. But it
Yeah.
does not accept anything less than that. And that's why it's so hard to get a Scorpio to trust you, is because all of us at some point are full of bullshit. And so that's, I think, also why Scorpio energy is associated with vulnerability. It's because it's taking away all the protective layers. Even though Scorpios protect themselves the most, they want to pull back all the protective layers of a situation, a person, whatever,
They want to
to
get
its
down to the
most
core.
vulnerable and pure point. Yes.
Hmm.
And that is what they want to see.
Yeah. So I think some good, I think do we were going to do some candle magic.
We were. We were.
Like
I don't
that
have
we
my
were going to
stuff.
do.
I don't
That
have
we
my
were going to
stuff.
do. I'm not going to say we were going to do fucking ASMR, but we were fucking going to do candle magic.
I have my sponges. If you want to hear, I don't know if this will pick up.
No, it won't. You need to get a better mic. Oh, okay, that one picked up. So, well, okay, Micah is giving a blowjob to the mic, so we're gonna keep going as Micah fillets. So I think some good Scorpio magic to do this year, and you can do this definitely with candles because Scorpios are about as much as they are about hiding things, they are also about revealing things. And you can do some good candle magic of truth revealing and finding things. This is
Protective
also
magic too.
protective. Oh, for sure, protective magic. We are talking
Hmm.
like, and Scorpios, I think, are my favorite for doing protective mirrors
Hmm.
and doing like adding herbs and stuff to the back of the mirror and then placing it on a place that on the entryways that most people come into because that's where the magic will try to that's where any negative magic will try to come in through or negative energies will come through and the protective mirror will actually bounce off them send it back to the person.
Hmm.
I had one at my house when I lived in Cleveland for years when I ended things with fiance
Ah,
and it did not end well.
ah. Well, it's just. And I
Yeah.
think that's the lovely thing is because Scorpio is a fixed sign that's coming right after the sign of Libra. Libra is
Hmm.
about justice. And this is why we get Scorpio who can be about vengeance a lot of the time, is
Hmm.
because it's carrying on. Any fixed energy is carrying on the same energy that the previous sign that comes before it initially carries. So with Scorpio, it's carrying on that justice energy, but it's going to build that justice energy into something else. And what do you get after justice? You get punishment. You get vengeance if needed. You get some sort of like punishment solution, whatever.
Karma.
Yes. And that's why we associate Scorpio with things like prisons. We associate it with like punishment or vulnerability and you know um, karma, of course, and therefore also Pluto, but also
Mhm.
power struggles because you can't have any sort of justice without some sort of power dynamics in a situation that are fighting
Yes.
for control.
Yes. Especially if you have like two sides that think that they're both right and the other
Mm-hmm.
side is wrong. Um, which is, I think having the election this year
Mm-hmm.
during, like having the election during a Scorpio season is seems so apt because it
Mm-hmm.
is all about the power struggles and what
Mm-hmm.
side is like more invested in their beliefs than the
Yeah,
other.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It'll be interesting for sure. Scorpio season, like because I have to still do the Astrology of November. I'll be working on that actually this week to come up with the video, but also to write my article about it. But I've like kind of looked at the astrology of November already. It is interesting to say the least. This should be a very interesting
I,
election season. Continuing on books, because we were talking about belief and that lovely line about faith.
yeah, and also like let's talk about Scorpio season being the season. You want to
Oh,
cozy
yeah,
up with a
it's the
book.
cozy season.
It
Yeah,
is the
you want to
cozy
cozy up with
season.
a book. Maybe you want to bump uglies with people. How do you feel
While
about
reading your
like
book.
while reading
That's
your book? Maybe
yeah.
I don't
And
know.
you know
I
what?
couldn't.
Kindles are actually, I would say no, Kindles are great for that because they have that kickstand, so you could just be like from behind and then be like, yeah, yeah.
Maybe audiobooks, which I could see with audiobooks. Yes, I maybe. But then I'm like, I'd have to like it has to be like a really smutty like audiobook, which I mean I read, but at the same time I'm like I feel like I'd be too much like when I'm reading audiobooks, I'm very focused into the story. And so I don't know if I
Hmm.
could do like both at the same time. I don't know. I don't know.
I
It'd be
think you
a
could. I
different
mean, people
experience.
watch porn and fuck.
But that's not a storyline.
That's true.
I mean, I guess technically you have people that are like in porn that are like doing their bad acting. Like I honestly I love watching those, the bad acting porn. That is
Yes.
entertainment on its own. Because I'm like, I, I left a sock in there, and then it takes them like fucking 10 minutes to get a single sock, and then all of a sudden that brother is behind.
Okay, so we know what Kid Micah's been watching.
I have. Oh, okay. So here's the thing. Okay, obviously I'm a Pisces. I think I said this. It's
Hmm.
not Pisces. When I first started really getting into astrology, I watched this uh I watched these videos by the Peace Dealer on YouTube. There's a creator called Peace Dealer. I have worked with Mike, who's the Peace Dealer, personally, and great astrologer. And he's so funny. And in his early days, he did this series of videos for each sign that was like said no Pisces ever or said no Virgo ever or whatever. And it was talking about like all these things that the signs do, or like these little funny little tidbits that you wouldn't think about, but are very much that sign kind of energy. And so it was like for Pisces, in my soul, it was like, yeah, I like all kinds of porn. Unicorn porn, alien porn, black people porn, white people porn, fairy porn,
Oh my God.
dragon porn. I'm like, because yeah, I just, I will watch any kind of porn that is one, it looks consensual. If people are crying, I'm turning it off. Like, if it feels like I'm watching a rape scene, then I'm turning it off, obviously. If it looks like the person is underage, I'm turning it off, obviously. But
Hmm.
like the bad acting, like someone is stuck in a dryer,
Stepbrother, help me. I'm stuck in these bushes.
all the porn are because that right now I just finished reading fairy porn in book form. Um,
Oh yeah.
yes,
Yeah, you've
I
been
was
telling me to read
finally
that, and I have
talked
two of those
in.
books.
You have two of them?
I have two of
Yeah,
them. We have three of them. The kid read them.
you're gonna love
And
them.
and my boyfriend listened to like did the audible for two of them.
Yeah. Okay, so here's the
And
thing.
he
So we're talking about Court of Thorns and Roses, the series, and I'm gonna tell you, I did not want to read this series because I felt like it was like overhyped. Everybody was saying that they liked it. I have a stellium and Aquarius, and so I was like, absolutely not. And so for years, I was like, I'm not gonna read it. It's too hyped up. It's too
Hmm.
popular. I finally got talked into reading it. Do you know I read all 5 books in that series in 2.5 weeks? Devoured them, all 5 of them.
I believe it.
Very smut, very smut at its finest. And I never thought that I would like fairy smut because it seems so whimsical. I'm like, what are they gonna be like? Are they gonna be like coming glitter? Like that's what I thought.
Why didn't they come glitter?
But I was like, it was very good. The first book is trash, and so I got a summary of the first book and went on to the second book, and then I came back to the first book because the second book talks about trauma that is mentioned or like referenced in the first book. And so to get the full scope and to cry myself to sleep even more, I had to read the first on my own, even though I already knew what happened in the first book. And then the fifth book, the last published book, is my favorite. Nesta, nobody could make me hate Nesta. But if you had asked me when I read the first book if I liked Nesta, I would have told you I hated this bitch. This book, that is my girl. Dap me up. My girl. You could never make me hate her. But yes, the fifth book is porn. It is straight porn. And it's lovely. All 5 books are absolutely lovely. And I stand behind all the memes that say you were talked into reading Akatar book 1, not knowing that you were signing on for 18 book cult. Yeah, and you don't want to leave, and you can't leave. So just know that when you read the first book, is that you are signing up for an 18 book universe, fairy universe cult, and you're not going to want to leave. So
Nobody actually joins a cult.
you can join this one, and it's going to be consensual. You're going to walk
It's a,
right into it, and you're going to be like, "Wow, I like it here."
so yeah, I
You're going
just
to say,
finished
"I
reading
like
the
it
first
here."
book of Discovery of Witches, and
Uh,
I'm so annoyed that you guys talked me into it because I love it and I want the second book right now,
yes.
right fucking now. But I have to get through Fire and Ice. And
Mm-hmm.
I have most of the series for Fire and Ice. I don't know if I have the last one that
Mm-hmm.
J.R.R. Martin had put out, but I have the other ones. I do have most of them. So I got to get through them. It's just the Red Wedding has got me fucked up.
Mm. Is this a series that Game of Thrones was based on? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, the Red Wedding has got me all sorts of fucked up right now. So I'm like, I need a break. I need a break.
Akatar could be the break for you. It's a nice little break. I
But
mean,
that's
it's
what a
still filled
discovery
with
of witches
trauma.
was. That's what a discovery of witches was. That was
Okay.
my break. So now I got to get back into it and then finish that, and then I will start reading Ekatar.
Yes. Yes. And
Um,
then we can be as obsessed as possible
yeah,
together.
and then, but what do we have any book recommendations for for our Scorpio seasons? Like, what are some good books for Scorpio season?
Anything smutty, Akatar.
Ghost
But
stories.
also those stories. What about sex magic? There are books about sex magic. I used to
I
have books
have
about sex magic.
I have quite a few books about sex magic, but honestly, I think the talking about sex magic, I think reading the Book of Psalms is really good for sex magic because uh there's some real heavy, dirty shit in there.
Hmm.
And so yeah, there are certain books in the Book of Psalms that are very good. There's the Karma Sutra, which
Hmm.
obviously is the preliminary book on sex magic. And then I got a hold.
Connection. I think that's another beautiful thing that Scorpio does is it's about the soul tie. With Libra, it's about the partnership and it's about the superficial partnership and like kind of like the contract that's initially like formed between two people, whether it be like in a marriage or a legal document or whatever. Or just kind of like, yeah, the superficial relationship, or the joining of two people, like as far as like we're in a relationship with each other. But
Mhm.
Scorpio is the intimacy that really makes a marriage or really makes a relationship trustworthy and feel secure. That is Scorpio. Scorpio
Yeah.
makes the meat of the relationship. It says, do I trust this person with my life or not? Like, because you can have a relationship with anybody. You do. And even acquaintances, you have a relationship with them. It's a one-on-one thing, which is Libra. But to have trust in a person, and to be able to feel vulnerable around that person, that is Scorpio. Because it's getting down to the things that make or break a relationship.
Yeah. Well, there is a book I'm looking for that I have, and I cannot, and I don't feel like going upstairs to grab it. About sex magic.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a fantastic book that I originally bought to try to get my mom out of the house because she was living with me
Mm-hmm.
at one point.
Oh.
But I kept it because it was actually a really good book because it talks about doing sex magic for yourself. Okay, so Michael has stepped away for a second, but I wanted to talk about this book because the magic is talks about doing sex magic with just yourself, or in some cases, doing magic with a person and how you want to actually build up the strength in that. Because it's important when you do sex magic like that that you are fully immersed energetically with the person that you're doing the magic with. If you're doing it with a second person, if you're doing it with a third person, same rules apply. Uh, However, and Micah's back. And so when we talk about doing sex magic, it is a lot about vulnerability and trust, which is two of the biggest Scorpio things. And using that, if you don't trust the person you're doing sex magic with, um, the magic won't work.
Yeah. Because it's a
Uh,
soul tie.
yeah. So I could tell you that my partner knows when he and I are doing sex magic because
Mm-hmm.
there are just certain things he has to do that we would not normally do. So,
Mm-hmm.
but he's fully aware. And that's the other thing. Be consensual with the person.
Yes. Consent is sexy, guys.
Consent is super sexy, but be consensual with the person because you are sharing and taking and giving energy to that person. And it is not fair for them to have parts of them being taken from them without their knowledge of what it's being used for.
Mhm.
And that shit comes
Question.
back on you. Yeah.
What tarot cards do you associate with sex? Because for me, it's the Ace of Wands and the King of Wands. I'm like, wow, he's really slinging that dong, isn't he?
I actually do think because I think the King of Wands, like he doesn't actually use his big dick anymore. I think it's more of a metaphorical CEO type of feel. So I
Mm-hmm.
usually associate it with the Knight of Wands and the Devil.
Okay, the devil dick. I can see it. Yes, yes. Okay, yes, I
Yeah,
can
I
see
mean,
it.
I grew up Catholic, so I have a very fucked up view of sex for a long time. So, like,
Oh my god. All right. So speaking of tarot,
and
um,
and stones because I'm using my tarot with the stones on it today.
ah, so yeah, speaking of tarot, it is that time. We are going to jump into the tarot cards for each sign for Scorpio season. Am I starting or are you starting this time? I forgot who started
I
You're
literally
starting this
posted.
time.
Okay, I'm starting this time. All right, so
Yes.
we are on Aries, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Aries, my people. Well, you're not my peoples. But Aries, your Scorpio season, how is we are looking at we're looking at a really good Scorpio season for you guys, Aries. We have the Ten of Pentacles. So what I'm looking at, it's malachite, which is the stone of transformation, change, and I would say it can be used as an abundant stone, but most of the time it's about transformation and change. And the saying underneath it says, I celebrate everything I achieve. So you guys are going to be hitting your stride this Scorpio season. And we're looking good. Uh, I think a lot of this has to do with how interesting the month of November is going to be for you guys. We are a bit in a what is called a battle for principles and morals and stuff. And the political landscape being what it is, this is definitely your field. So there's going to be a lot of work and things that need to be done, but you are going to be successful in everything you do this season. So congratulations.
Taurus, we have the Two of Pentacles. I decided to use my Santa Muerte deck because it has the spookies and it's spooky season. I just felt like this. I'm getting more into using like the actual like deck that called to me during an actual reading, like when I'm doing readings for myself, and so I'm trying to do that more on my channel and like
Mm.
when I do these. Because usually whenever I let people do like, when I have people do like in person reading, sorry, Taurus, I'm going on a little bit of a tangent. I swear I'm getting to you.
This is the
I think,
ADHD episode.
um, and so when I have people do personal readings with me or, in person, they get to pick the deck. And so I'm doing more of an intuitive picking. But I felt like this was appropriate because the skeleton, we got the Two of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles is I associate it more so with um, multitasking, but it can also be balanced. It's the Jupiter and Capricorn card, and so it's like basically you big payoffs come from hard work and structure. And so basically nothing comes for free. You're gonna have to give a little to get a lot. But I think even then, you're still, you might be very busy in Scorpio season. Scorpio is your opposite sign, and so it is focusing a lot on relationships. And so having to just juggle a lot when it comes to your relationship or working with other people, especially if it does have to do with money, is something that you might have to really figure out, or how trying to figure out how to feel the most secure in relationships with other people might be something that's just feeling a bit hectic, but I don't think it's anything that you can't handle. I think it'll be very beneficial as long as you're putting the work in and having the patience that is needed with the other person, for sure. I think that is what we're really focusing on. Get all that money, get in your bag, but be patient.
Gemini. So we, some of us are getting some itchy feet because you're feeling like you need to find your home. You're feeling like you need to find a place to stabilize. Some of you guys are wondering if you are in the place you need to stabilize at. Others are wondering if that this is forever and hoping it is forever. So what I pulled for you guys is the Four of Wands. We're talking about going inwards and really stabilizing yourselves. Create your home within yourselves is how I'm reading this card. Um, I never really noticed, but the cards are really shiny. Like when you see them face to face, they're not like that shiny. So the universe brings all I need to feel blissful. And we're talking about garnet. Garnet is a redstone. It's always used for the root chakra. I always feel more grounded when I use garnet for things. So we're definitely talking about getting yourself grounded, planting some roots. If you're already planted roots, maybe tending to those roots. This is a good time to do some inner work for yourselves and to get that sense of stability within yourself and not try to look for it outside of yourselves anymore.
Okay. For Cancer, we have got the Emperor. Um, for the Emperor, this is always the card that's like very much about like structure. It can be about like government entities as well. But I think this is more about control other than anything. Scorpio season already comes with like power struggles and things like that. And so I think with this, you're trying to find some sort of control in the situation. You could be just dealing with a person that is just very controlling. But I feel like this is more you, to be honest. I feel like you're searching for some sort of structure or answers in the situation, that's kind of coming through trying to transform a situation, and through trying to transform it into something new, you are creating structure and therefore trying to control things. Just make sure you're not holding on to control too much because some things are out of your hands. And just remembering that you cannot control everything, but I do give big ups to you for trying to be the boss of what you can be the boss of. Just remember that you can't be the boss of everything. Structure is good, but just make sure that again it's balanced.
Leos, now is the time to make a decision. So whatever you've been holding off on making a decision on, it's time to take a shit or get off the pot. So we have the Two of Swords for you guys. The Two of Swords is a card of trusting your judgment, trusting your gut, knowing that the universe has got your back. And the stone for the of Swords here is Shuglight. I know nothing about it, so don't ask. Going on, we have the saying, whatever I decide, I trust in the outcome. You need to make a decision and know that it is the right decision. This is going to be a hard decision for you guys to make, but it does need to be made. And you need to just trust that the universe will make it possible for you to do the right thing.
Virgo, you got the Sky card. So it's interesting. Scorpio is your third house. So it is a lot about communication, but this is also a lot about friends. The Star card is also associated with Aquarius, which is also about friends. So I think it's really interesting that you have Scorpio season being in your third house, which can be about friends and communication. And then we have the Star card, which is associated with Aquarius, that is also associated with friends, but also is associated with, by reasoning of it being an air sign, it's associated with communication. And so I think basically transforming how or changing how you're talking to someone and being very aware of how you're communicating with other people makes all the difference, especially allies and friends. It's not always about what you said, it's about how you say it. And I think you can also, if this isn't you in particular, I think you're bringing this up to people, is just reminding them that, hey, it's not what you said, it's how you said it. But I think, again, this is about you because Virgo, I think, if anything, you can be a bit critical of people. And so just keep in mind that we know how we like to control things or try to be in control of things and pick at the smaller details of things. And I commend you on that as your opposite side. But I think, with that being a bit critical, sometimes it's not about what you said. What you said can be completely right, but a lot of times it's about how you said it that can make all the difference on whether things work out the way that you're looking for them to work out or not. So it can happen. Goals will be achieved. Just watch how you say things.
Libra, judgment. I look back with compassion for myself. Bloodstone. Bloodstones are about ancestral work and are about doing actually shadow work. So Judgment, Scorpio is a good time. You just finished up your season. Why don't you take some time and do some shadow work? Because everybody loves to, dig up their own demons and face their trauma. And Libra, now is the time for you to guys to do that. Okay? I'm sending my brother a shadow workbook for his birthday. I'm going to send him this particular part of the video. But no, this actually applies to all Libras. Libras are probably a little more sensitive to trauma than others, and I think it's time that we work through those a little bit.
Scorpio. Very interesting. Very interesting, Scorpio. So I got two cards for you.
Oh, happy birthday
We'll
to
start off with the first one.
Scorpios.
We got the Two of Pentacles, which Taurus got. Two of Pentacles, but we also got the Two of Cups. So this is definitely about relationships, compassionate communication, balancing. So not just saying what you want to say, Scorpio. I know it's your season and you are feeling your scorpionic energy and you're like, this is my
I
shit.
got some shit to say to you.
I got some shit to say to you. But this is about understanding, not it, understanding, listening, and compassionate communication. Listening to understand, not to react or to respond. Not everything needs a response. Take your time in forming responses, but also remember that the Two of Pentacles is a lot about emotional communication. And so if somebody else is in their emotions when trying to create like more of an objective result or something like that, you just know that you don't always have to be that way, but it is good to express exactly how you feel about something. If you're hurt about something, it's okay to say you're hurt. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's all about balance of the situation. So just take every situation that you're communicating with somebody else in, even if it's a Taurus in particular, since we did get the Two of Pentacles for Taurus, take the time to really figure out what is the balance in the situation. You know, it's give and take. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable with others and tell them how you feel. And I think that'll open up others to be vulnerable with you.
So Sagittarius, my moon brothers and sisters. Would I call them my half brothers and sisters since it's my moon sign?
You good.
Okay, so my half brothers and sisters and siblings. I drew for you guys the Ace of Pentacles. So we have the Ace of Pentacles is also Malachite. I'm not going to go over what it means, but I like the saying in this one, I am always rewarded for all I do. So these are definitely, this is definitely looking at like the work you've done coming back, good or bad. You reap what you sow. But Ace of Pentacles is also about the start of things, the start of new projects, the start of new relationships. Aces are always I'm starting this thing now. So Ace of Pentacles in an earth base is an earth based. I'm starting a thing now. We are looking at you guys starting something that is in this world, whether it's a new relationship or a business venture or a friendship or whatever. You're starting something in this world, not in like the spiritual world, but you are going to be but it's something that is a very rewarding whatever. So this is a good time for you to start whatever it is that's been brewing in your head because it is about to happen, and whatever you start now will be rewarded for you in the next in your season.
Capricorn. Don't choke anybody out is what I got when I pulled this card. You got the Strength card. Do not choke anybody out because I feel like that's what I almost
Is
dropped my
that a
phone.
luchador?
Uh,
Is that a luchador? Yes, it is. Fuck yeah. Go on.
Don't choke anybody out. That's what automatically what I got when I got it. Do not choke anybody out. The original like illustration in the Rider-Waite deck is this woman like closing the lion's mouth. I feel like you are more like choking the lion, like
Trying to force the lion to take its pill.
Yeah. You can't control everything. Much like I think I said for Cancer, you can't control everything. Be aware of the things you can and cannot control, and have the strength to know the difference. Do the serenity prayer if you need to. But I
Tattoo it
think a
on
lot,
your hands.
yes, because I think so
It's
much
going
of
to
the
be
strength card, so much of the strength card is about your passions and coming off maybe, very passionate about what you're expressing to others and the changes that you want to make. I think that's great, but the strength card is also about emotional endurance, perseverance, but also it can be a lot about like holding, like knowing that there's a time and a place to release the beast. The beast doesn't need to run wild in Scorpio season. I know you want to, and honestly, you and Scorpio are twins. Y'all both control freaks. I understand this being in Capricorn rising. Know when to release the beast. Okay, that's what I got for you, Capricorn.
See, but that they're the type of twins. They're like fraternal twins. They're like opposites.
No,
So
like I feel like
like
I feel like
Scorpio is a control freak, but Scorpio also likes to just be chaotic in their control. Capricorns are
they're
more
very
rigid. You don't?
calculated.
They are?
I
I
think
don't feel like they are. Maybe it's just
because they take the time to go underneath. We'll have to talk about this maybe like in our
we'll talk
but
about this during Capricorn season.
yes, because I feel like Capricorn is Scorpio in a different font. Like, like
I have never
okay,
heard it
go
put that way. I
ahead.
love that. So it's Pisces next.
You have Aquarius next
Oh,
because I did
Aquarius.
Capricorn.
Yeah, I forgot. I always forget about Aquarius. Tells you where I feel about them. Aquarius. Anyways, we drew the magician for you. And what they have is citrine, and then the I manifest perfectly what I desire. So this is your season of alchemy. Take the what you have and turn it into what you need because no one is going to save your ass this season. You are going to have to save yourselves. The magician is all about using magic. Magic is always based off of need and desire. So if you have a desire and a need to get yourself out of a situation, this is your sign that you need to do it yourself because no one's out there to save you. Take what you have and get yourself out of your own hole. You can do it.
You can do it. Right. For
Now we're on Pisces.
yes, now we're on Pisces. Sorry, I got sidetracked because my phone vibrated. Okay, Pisces. I'm gonna be honest. I reshuffled, so I'll tell you what I got first, and then I'll tell you what I reshuffled and got, and then I'll tell you the combination. So the first card that I got was the Five of Cups. It's time to let go of some things, but honestly, that's what Scorpio season is about. It's about purging things. The Five of Cups is about disappointment, but I think the brighter look at that card is basically just as brutal, but it's a little bit more positive. It's trying to build a bridge and get over it because we're on to bigger and better things. The things that you're disappointed over, yes, those things happen, but there is no benefit in staying stuck on those things. And so all you can do is work to change internally so that you can create a better outcome in future situations. And so there is what I get there. But I think with the Three of Cups, which is what I reshuffled and got, you can rely a lot, I think, on trusted friends, coming together with others. Scorpio is your fifth house, which Scorpio is your fifth house. And so I think it's a lot about like, being able to go out, have fun with people, blowing off steam with friends. There will be victories and there will be disappointments, but just make sure that you're not staying stuck on those things. Mars in Scorpio is that placement that is associated with the Five of Cups. And so it's not just about disappointment and moving past things, and it's also about working to transform a situation. And I think friends can be very helpful in helping you to kind of reshape your perspective on a situation and move past it. And then find the victory and get out and do things. Don't do anything that I wouldn't do, Pisces, as a Pisces. Which honestly might not be much. You might the very thing might be just staying in your room and reading Akatar because that's become my whole life now. So
So that was your horoscope, well, your tarot readings for the signs for the month of Scorpio.
yes.
I'm gonna make a planner just based off of that. Um, so take it as what you will, of course, and we will be better organized next month because it's Capricorn season and we don't, no, Sagittarius season. No, we won't. Fuck that. It's gonna be more.
Sagittarius season is just gonna be just completely. We might as well get like some like Cheetos because Cheetos are like some maybe like some Patron something to get. We need to get not drunk, but we need to have some spirit, some alcohol spirit.
Well,
Because the
I can't
Jupiter.
actually, I can't have alcohol in the house.
Oh, well, maybe we make mocktails. Maybe
Uh,
vote down in the comments. What should we do
and
for Sagittarius season?
yes, vote what you want us to do for Sagittarius season, either in the comments or I will actually put out a poll on my Instagram what the episode should be for Sagittarius season. Sh
Yes.
and should Michael be drunk and I be high?
I don't get drunk, but I love the sentiment though.
But
All
yeah,
right,
tell us
guys.
what you'd like to see. But yeah.
All right, Vanessa, where can they find you at?
You can find me at the Four of Wands on Sundays and Fridays, as well as all the moon markets and mystic mingles. And you can book me for readings at www.bellabruja, BELLABRUJA.com. And of course, you can find me on Instagram as Bea or Bella Bruja and on TikTok as Bella Bruja. And you can also find me on Fiverr, Bella Bruja. I think that's
Big
everything.
salad.
Oh, yeah, and Gig Salad. You can find me on Gig Salad at Bella Bruja. And I do weddings, so if you need an officiant, bitch, hit me up, Arizona. So, what about you, Micah? Where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram, YouTube, Threads, even Eden I Tarot. I think on Threads it's Eden I Astro and Tarot. I think. Yep.
I don't know. I'll have to
Um,
look. Are we following each other on Threads? Oh, yeah, I forgot I'm on Threads.
I'm never even on Threads to be honest. I'm trying to use it more regularly, but basically the ones that are important: Instagram, YouTube. I'm trying to get to YouTube to 1,000 subscribers by my birthday. So if you want to get me a free birthday present, you can just subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Find me on YouTube. I put out new content, new videos. Third time is a charm. We are going to be more consistent. You can find me at Eden Eye Tarot on both those platforms. And of course, you can also find me on Big Salad underneath Eden Eye Tarot. But other than that, we will see you guys in Sagittarius season. Make sure that you let us know how your Scorpio season is going. How are you faring post eclipse season? And we will talk to you later. Bye.
Bye, I think.